Well, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Let's waste no time with today's Tuesday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio. Let's get right on into our Whole Guy segment as we're going to head down and get this thing going down all the way to Texas, the Dallas area, that is, at Skyline High School, where we're getting ready to bring in the big fella, 2022 defensive tackle. And I think this man may be the baddest on the 22 class on that defensive line. He has a good name, Bear Alexander joins us. BA, welcome to OTH.
Yo, yo, yo.
Bear, let's get off into the recruiting process, big fella. Heading into your junior year, Arkansas comes in with the offer. Talk about that process and how it came about with Coach Step. And then, who are some of the other schools early, BA, that are showing you high priority?
Oh, man, of course, it was just amazing seeing Step and them come all the way from Arkansas and Sam Pittman for him to just turn on the tape and sit down and evaluate me. So it was just all amazing. And then you take schools that are recruiting me. You got A&M, Georgia, Ohio State,
Now, who?
TCU, Bama, Clemson, and all the other big powerhouses.
Now, in-state pressure with that, with TCU, A&M, Texas, and Baylor being the four major schools in state. Are you feeling any pressure by locals or classmates, Bear, maybe to stay at one in-state and go to one of those four institutions, or still yet you're going to do what's best for you?
I'm going to do what's best for me.
Who are some places that you want to get out to unofficially, heading into your junior year? Bear, once
No,
this COVID thing
Auburn,
passes up.
LSU, Ohio, USC,
Now,
uh, Florida again.
what are some of the things you want to work on when you sit down and watch that film of your sophomore year? I mean, and then what did you feel good about? But what were the things that you wrote a note about that you're working on here in the off season?
My flexibility, my get offs, my hand violence. Just being able to move in tight space and play in the backfield.
That confidence level, BA, that you have. I mean, what is it about the Skyline culture that when you do move on to college football, that you can always hang your hat on about, Skyline football?
The toughness, the brotherhood, and just the coaches getting after it and getting the best out of their players.
Who are some of those NCAA or college D linemen, Bear, that you'd like to pay attention to?
Malcolm Brown, like I say, the number 5 A&M. The guy that just came out in the 4th round for TCU, Blacklock. And so I'm in the league, of course, Aaron Donald, Akeem Hicks.
Now you get to play each and every week. Top Power Five talent at the high school level there in Texas. How does that Texas high school football, Bear, each and every Friday prepare you for what's for that next level, which, like I said, will be Power Five football? How does that get you ready?
It's tough. You don't survive around here in Texas.
Right
If
now,
you're not tough,
go ahead. We're talking with Bear Alexander of Dallas, Texas, Skyline High School, big time 2022 prospect at the defensive tackle spot, made, which is considered the top defensive lineman in the state of Texas in that junior class. But Bear, when, I come to Skyline High School, there in Dallas, and I get my popcorn, I'm going to try to make it down when Arkansas plays A&M this year on a Friday night. What type of football player, when that ball is kicked off, will I see in number 7 for 4 quarters?
and you're gonna see a lot of violence. When I say violence, I don't mean like on the street, like crime, but it's gonna be a violent game. You're gonna see me in the backfield for the most part.
Now,
Very disruptive.
let's have a little fun and want everybody to know we're talking with Barry Alexander of Dallas Skyline High School. We're riding around D-Town, you and myself. We're in Club BA. What's the first 5 songs on the playlist, Barry, that you're going to let me hear?
Of course, Yellow Beezy, Mo 3, T.I. Jeezy, maybe some Zero out of H-Town.
Okay.
Got
one more.
Big Mill.
I got you on those. Those are pretty good ones. Now, the last question, and Bear, I want you to, I want to thank you for taking time out here on the show today, as I know you're on your way. Got to make a little money today, my man, and I think that's really shows high character in yourself as well. But I want you to finish this statement for me, big man. When football is over with, when it's all said and done, for Bear Alexander, BA is going to be doing what with his life after football?
Shit, just mentoring and helping young kids, giving back, distributing to others the skills that I have picked up, just installing it in others. That's helping.
Well, BA, man, love having you on here. Hey, man, this can't be the last time you and I have you on the show, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, hey, man, enjoy your day. Make that money, brother. And, hey, good luck on your junior year, and thanks for taking time out here on the Hill with us.
Appreciate it.
All right. That was Bear Alexander, a big-time 2022 defensive tackle prospect out of Dallas, Texas, Skyline High School. Demetrius, talk to me. What you see?
Very disruptive. Just a guy that really has a high motor. A very big kid, big, strong guy.
Right.
I think he can come here and be developed and be a NFL draft pick.
I'm telling you, they said it means more than the SEC, and Coach Pittman and that staff really, as far as the offensive and defensive lines are concerned, they're really showing you it really does mean more about the aggressiveness. And some of the kids we've had on, you can tell these are game changers. These aren't just kids that you bring in red shirt. Most of these kids come in, and if they can learn the playbook on both sides and be physically ready, they're ready to go. That's the type of mentality that when I say it means more, when we say it means more, that's what we're talking about. And they definitely are. Recruiting on steroids. Ain't that what he said, Demetrius? Well, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to have Stone Blanton of Jackson, Mississippi, Madison Ridgeland Academy. He's up next. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. Let's get it. Welcome back to our Wednesday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk. Oh, it's just Tuesday. It's our Tuesday edition. My goodness, the week hadn't even started. I mean, just so much is going on. When we talk about recruiting, we're running around and we keep the archives going. And I guess you lose days because they've been busy, Sam Pittman and that staff. And when he told us that they were lagging in the 2022 class, man, they hit the ground running and continue building the brand with those group of young men, and they didn't stop. They headed to Jackson, Mississippi, and made an offer to 2022 inside linebacker prospect from Jackson, Mississippi, Madison Ridgeland Academy, Stone Blanton. Stone, welcome to OTH.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
I was glad that you were able to take some time out with us, Stone. I want to talk about recruiting. First, you received an offer just a little over 24 hours ago from defensive linebacker coach Ryan Rhodes and that defensive staff there at Arkansas. Talk about that. Who are some of the other schools, Stone, that are really showing you high priority as far as football goes?
Yes, sir. I've had a few looks. It's just been through kind of Twitter, and I've been able to send out emails and stuff, and coach has been able to look at it and call my coach, and that's just kind of how I've been doing my recruiting, and it's been working, so I can keep doing it.
How did the conversation go with Arkansas getting that offer, and just what was that like? To have an SEC West school, pretty much be the first initial football program to extend an offer.
My head coach actually mediated it, so they called him around 7:30 that morning, and asked Coach Davis about me, asked about my intangibles, just who I am as a player, who I am as a person off the field. And so, my coach just kind of told him who I am and what I do, what I stand for. And, that's like they actually told him they're going to extend an offer, and then they'll talk to me September 1st when the rules open up. And Coach Davis, he called me right after and told me about it. So that's kind of how it happened.
When you sat down, Stone, after following your sophomore season with your defensive staff and your head coach and watched film of this past season, what were some of the things that you really felt good about? And then also, too, what were some notes that you wrote down as to what you were going to work on in the offseason to make better for your junior year?
Yes, sir. So I think one of my strong suits is ability to identify the play. So a run play, I feel like I can really go downhill and pop somebody and blow up the play, and definitely a blitzer. I feel like that's one of my strong suits. Something I need to work on is probably my coverage one-on-one, maybe a back down the seam. I definitely probably need to work on kind of seeing that and picking that up. And so probably my coverage is something I need to work on, which I have been. So
Right. Not being able to go through spring football or at the same time, Stone, get into your high school, weight room and get a workout in. How are you able to get your daily workouts in to get ready for this upcoming football season?
yes, sir. So I haven't really skipped a beat, with the whole virus. I've had a friend that had a gym and it's upstairs, and it has everything you need. And so I go there every day, 2:00 after school, after our school sessions, and we work out for about an hour, hour and a half, and then I'll come home and run. I have kind of a big field next to my yard, so I haven't really missed out on anything. Our strength coach at MRA sends us workouts, and I've just been keeping up to date. So
Now,
I really
Stone, what is it about that culture there at MRA that's gonna, that you'll be able to take with you when you move on to the collegiate level? I mean, you're a two-sport athlete, but what is it about MRA that you can hang your hat on?
it's all about family for them, and play as a team, and we're all brothers there, and they really teach us the game, and I feel like that's kind of something that gives us an advantage at MRA. Is they teach us how to play football, they teach us how to be smart when we play football, and the techniques, and so much hours put into it that they put in, not even with us, so they can tell us and share us some techniques and give us all that to give us an advantage on our players that we play against. And I feel like that's kind of the edge I'll take with me, just all the mental side of the game.
Talking with Stone Blanton of Jackson, Mississippi, Madison Ridgeland Academy. They're in Jackson, Mississippi. He's a 2022 inside linebacker prospect. Stone, could you tell the listeners something that they may not know about Stone Blanton that you'd like to share right now?
I'm actually a pretty shy guy. I feel that's something a lot of people wouldn't know about me. Is I'm not a big go out and do something every weekend. I actually kind of like to be myself, and I'm a pretty shy guy, I guess. Something that they can know about me.
Who are some NFL or NCAA linebackers that you like to pay close attention to, Stone?
No, I love Ray Lewis. He's definitely my number one, and then Luke Kuechly, he's up there too, and C.J. Mosley. I love all them. So those are Reuben Foster. Those guys are my favorite.
Now, being there in the state of Mississippi, it's always, you're either a rebel or a bulldog. Do you get a lot of pressure? Because I know, a lot of people may not know that Stone is committed to play baseball at the University of Mississippi State, but but you're a great football player. Do you get pressure to maybe flip and go to as they like to say at that other school, or how does the Blanton family handle all that?
No, sir. We're blessed being in a decision to be able to be here and be able to have that choice. So there's no pressure. So we're good.
Now I'm coming to MRA. I got my popcorn and my 20-ounce Sprite, and I've gone to the highest place in the stadium that I can be. When that ball is kicked off for 4 quarters, what kind of football player will I see in Stone Blanton?
You're going to see a pretty aggressive football player. I play with a lot of passion. I love to hit people, so that's my favorite. So you'll see some big hits, hard football, and good leadership on my team.
Now,
keep going.
Now, I know we were going to have a little fun with the 5 on the playlist, and as we talked last night, you said you really weren't a music listener, so I'm going to do a little something different with you. The night before the game, give me the game day meal for Stone Blanton Thursday night before he takes the field the next evening.
So I actually do have a game day meal the night before. I'll have about 4 or 5 chicken tenders, grilled chicken tenders. I put them on the grill, a little seasoning on them, and then white jasmine rice, and then I'll have probably. I usually don't eat vegetables, so I have a shake. It's a little protein powder. Not protein powder, but it's a vegetable powder, and so I just drink that instead of making a vegetable, and that's kind of my go-to. So
I like that.
Favorite.
I like
yes,
that. Sir. The last question, Stone, I want you to complete the statement. When football is done with, or sports in general, because you may have a long, illustrious career either in football or baseball, but when you're done with your athletic career, when it's all said and done, Stone Blanton will be doing what will he be doing with his life afterwards?
I always want to be around sports, so definitely either training people or coaching them up if I can. But I definitely want to stay around sports as long as possible, and train athletes. That'd be a dream. So.
Well, Stone, man, love having you on. Congratulations on your offer, and also congratulations on your option to play baseball at Mississippi State if that's what you choose to stick with. But like I said, you're a heck of an athlete, and let's not make this the last time that you're a guest on our show. All right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, Stone. Well, you have a blessed one, and thanks for taking time out here on the hill.
Yes, sir. Bye.
That was Stone Blanton of Jackson, Mississippi, Madison, Ridgeland Academy, big 2022 inside linebacker prospect. Talk to me, Mr. Kuiper.
Man, just a guy I think can be a really solid player, hard worker, definitely determined, and I think he can be a great addition to the resume.
Man, talk about a great addition. We got a special guest here at 1:30 as 2021 5-star. Yeah, I did say 5-star combo guard from Northside High School. She's made her pledge to come and play for Mike Neighbors, and we're going to get her thoughts because she is the difference maker. Jersey Wolfenbarger, she's up next. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. Let's get it. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's our Tuesday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio. Coming to you here each and every day on KDSJ 479. And real quick, I want to give a shout out to all our sponsors: Lindsay and Associates, Locomotion, Corey Beck's Custom Painting, and KDK's Chicken. I want to give a shout out to those, as this would not be possible without them. But I'm talking about when you talk about big time players that can make big time plays in big time moments, you have to talk about a young lady that just gave Coach Mike Neighbors and staff a big time commitment that may produce a big time future for women's basketball. That being said, we're going to head down to Fort Smith and talk to 2021 5-star commit Jersey Wolfenbarger. J-Dub, welcome to OTA. Let's get into it, Jersey. Congratulations on your commitment. A lot of major schools came in recruiting you. It had to be a tough decision in the end, but talk about that decision and what it felt like when you came to your final choice upcoming Arkansas.
Really, my final choice was just based on more of a feeling. Coach believed in me, and I believed in him, and so I instantly knew, I want to play for somebody like that, and I love what he's done so far. I kind of want to be a part of that process and that journey.
What was that like, Jersey, to grow up here in the state of Arkansas? And even before Coach Neighbors came, me being in the media, I had a chance to see you at quite a few of those women's games in Jimmy Dykes. But talk about the transformation to go from a coach in Jimmy Dykes to watching what Coach Neighbors has built, and how did that play a factor once you did get the offer and be able to watch what he was able to build?
Growing up, my family's always been, my uncle especially has always been like really big Razorback fans, and so we kind of followed them throughout the entirety of like their seasons and all that stuff. And then Coach Neighbors came, and I heard like a lot of stuff about him, especially like Kelsey Plum and what he built down in Washington. And then he was my first offer, so it really resonated with me. Like I said, he believed in me, and he believed in me first, so it meant a lot to me.
To be able to have a chance to visit with Kelsey Plum, I was over at Media Day, and I think she was over there with you, just taking an unofficial trip. But if you had a chance to talk with her, what were some of the things that she told you about, playing for Coach Neighbors?
She just told me that he'll work extremely, extremely hard for you and make sure that he's able to highlight your strengths within his system. And that meant a lot to me because she was willing to give me, advice and really just help me understand how I could be my best for Coach Neighbors.
Being a 5-star Jersey from the state of Arkansas, big that's major. Not a lot of young ladies get that opportunity. How much pressure is that? And playing at a program such as Northside each and every Tuesday or Friday night, the Lady Bears take the court. There's a huge bullseye. How much pressure is that to have to carry being the top player and yet playing on pretty much what many consider in the top program in the state at Northside?
Luckily, I don't feel that pressure as much because I'm just now, scratching the surface, and I've always been one to kind of consider myself like an underdog to start, and so I constantly feel like I'm proving something to myself, and just it's kept me humble enough to keep, just keep working hard and understand that it doesn't stop with one moment of success. You got to continue to chase the next one.
Talking with Jersey Wolfenbarger, big-time 5-star commit to Mike Neighbors in the 2021 class out of Northside High School in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Northside has been really good to the basketball program. On the men's side with Isaiah Joe and Jalen Williams. He'll make his way to be a freshman next year in Fayetteville. Now you come, Jersey. I know you have quite the relationship with both of those young men. Was it any advantage, Jersey, when you saw Isaiah come up, have success, and now Jalen? I mean, was that a pull to know that you would have that north side connection still there?
Yeah, I think it's just the tradition with both teams, really. We're both one of the top teams in the state, and so I think, like I said, it's tradition that Northside holds, and the constant chase of excellence is what I guess makes us different than other players. If that, yeah.
Josie, I've had a chance to officiate you as I'm a summer official, and I've had a chance to officiate this young lady. Goes way back, I think, what, third or fourth grade, something like that. And I've always watched your game develop and been very impressed. When you sit back and you look over your game from then to now, what do you feel most good about, and what are still some things that you've made notes that you have to continue to improve on?
The biggest thing that I know that I have to continue to improve on is just maintaining my foot speed at the moment. Growing definitely slows you down a little bit, and so I just want to maintain that because I feel like that's what separates me from a lot of taller players is the fact that I am, quick, and that it helps me with my shot and my ability to create for my teammates.
Big time prospect about to make your McDonald's debut a year from that. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm making a prediction. Just mark it down. But talk about girls high school basketball in the state of Arkansas. I know when you girls go out on the summer circuit, you do quite well, and not just the Banshees
Yeah.
organization, but multiple female organizations in the state. But talk about girls high school basketball and just what a name it's starting to make for itself on the national scene.
Um, Basketball in Arkansas, especially in 6A, is extremely tough because you're playing against girls that are going to go Division I or play college basketball on a daily, like on a nightly basis, and even on your team, you're constantly competing against other girls that have the same goals and dreams as you. And so I think that's what kind of motivates me to keep working, and I think that's why we're, as a state, scratching the surface more and more with all of our successes, like Sasha, winning McDonald's All-American and Jordan Brand. I think that's starting to lead to more recognition within the state.
When I come to Northside, and I've seen you play, but for those that hadn't seen JW play, we got Coke, popcorn for 4 periods. When that ball's thrown up, what type of basketball player will those viewers see in Jersey Wolfenbarger?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
For those that hadn't seen you and they come to the gym, what type of basketball player for a first timer will they see in Jersey Wolfenbarger when they leave the gym?
My goal is to be the hardest worker on the court. So whatever that is, that's the impression I want to leave with the people that come watch me.
Jersey, who are some collegiate or WNBA ball players that you like to keep a close eye on?
Obviously Kelsey Plum. But my favorite has been Candace Parker, and I feel like I try to mimic my game after her a lot, and I think that's what's kind of shaped how I play.
See, I got you dunking the basketball this season. I think that's the next step for you, Jersey.
Yes, yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
Jersey. Now, I know a lot of people would really like to know. It's like I said, you had multiple big time offers. I mean, you talk about South Carolina, the UConns. I mean, Baylor. You name it, they were coming. But had it not been Arkansas, who was the number 2 school behind the Razorbacks?
My top 2 came down to Oregon and Arkansas.
I like
Yes,
it.
sir.
Now we're riding around, and I want everybody to know we're talking with Jersey Wolfenbarger, 5-star 2021 combo guard out of Northside High School, rated the 18th best basketball player in her class nationwide. We're riding around the fort. I'm OG. What's the first 5 songs in Club Jersey? Are you going to be playing on your playlist for me?
I'm not really like a playlist type of person, but before games, I listen to a J. Cole radio station on Apple Music.
Well, see, I'm going to have to tune in now. You didn't turn me on to something new. I didn't even know that. Okay, I got you. I got you. I like that, JW. Well, last statement, and I want you to close this out for me. When basketball is finally done with, when it's all said and done for Jersey Wolfenbarger, what's J-Dub going to be doing with the rest of her life after basketball?
After basketball, my goal is to become a psychologist, and I want to get my doctorate but I'm probably going to become a sports psychologist because I don't think I could ever leave the sport of basketball or sports in general.
Well, Jersey, if there's one last message you want to send out to all future Razorback fans that are going to be coming to Bud Walton Arena and following you throughout your career, what's that one message you want to let the Razorback fan base know?
I'm just super excited to be a part of the Razorback family, and I can't wait to get to play in front of y'all.
Well, you got some work to do. You got to become a recruiter now for one particular stop, not too far from Fayetteville. You get me? I can't tell you that name because people say I might be tampering. I can't be tampering.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
Jersey, hey, thank you, young lady. Congratulations. Having known you as long as I have, I don't know who's more excited, me or you. And I can't wait to cover your career at the University of Arkansas. But for now, thanks for taking time out here on the Hill.
Thank you so much.
That was 2021 Combo 5-star and new Arkansas Razorback commit, future McDonald's All-American, I might add too, and the Arkansas Gatorade Player of the Year, Jersey Wolfenbarger. But we got more to talk about on the Hall, guys. Got to get in the bus. Got to make it up to the VA, Virginia, where we're going to catch up with our next guest, 2022 offensive tackle prospect, Gunnar Gibbons. He's about to take the stage. It's on the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. Back in a moment. Welcome back to our Tuesday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio as we continue on with our Hall Guys edition. As we said, Coach Pittman and that football staff won't stop watching, and we're not either. So we made our way up to Daleville, Virginia, where we're going to catch up with yet another big-time and major 2022 prospect for the University of Arkansas and Brad Davis and that offensive side of football. We're going to catch up with Lord Bator High School's own Gunnar Gibbons, G Squared. Welcome to OTH, my man. Can you hear me there, Gunnar?
Yes, sir.
Talk about the recruiting process, Gunnar. Arkansas comes out with an offer. Coach Brad Davis, they reach out to you. Talk about what that conversation was like, and also to who are some of the other schools that are making you a high priority heading into your junior year?
So the coach, call Coach Davis whenever you offered me. It was a good call. He's a real good guy. I mean, me and him, it seemed like we click real well. I think he's a great guy. Arkansas, a great program, SEC school. So yeah, that was big time. It meant a lot to me, that offer. And as far as other schools go, I mean, I'd say schools recruit me the most. I mean, Virginia Tech is a local school. Other schools also recruit me. Like every school's offered me. I'm communicating with well and talking to. And then as far as schools that haven't offered me play yet, I've been talking to LSU, Ohio State, Alabama, like pretty much all the big time schools that haven't offered me yet.
When you talk about Arkansas, Gunner, we talked last night, and you told me something very interesting in the fact that you reached out to Arkansas with the initial interest. Talk about that, and why was Arkansas a school that you felt like would be a school that you want to, initiate the conversation?
Well, I mean, I feel like Arkansas, they breed really good players on the line. I mean, big time SEC school. I mean, I'm trying to play the best football I could possibly play. So I mean, they're SEC good schools. That's the reason why I feel like that was a really good offer.
Being an offensive lineman there, Gunner, and watching the NFL draft on Thursday night, and you knowing the history of Coach Sam Pittman as an offensive line coach, having his two linemen that he just previously coached at Georgia be the only two first rounders that program have. And we all know the history over the last couple of years about how elite Georgia is. With Coach Sam Pittman now being the head football coach, but also too placing an emphasis and understanding how important line of scrimmage play is. How much does that help Arkansas's chances that you would get a chance to play on for not just Coach Davis, but still have Coach Sam Pittman, who's been known to develop some first rounders? How much does that play into it?
Oh, that means a lot. I mean, obviously, the end goal is always going to be to play in the NFL and make money doing what I love. That's all I've been dreaming about since I was a little kid. So, yeah, the fact that he can breathe, that he can take the time you already have and make it 10 times better and breathe you into a possible NFL prospect, and yeah, that's huge to me. That's real big.
Watching film from your sophomore year when you sat down with your coaching staff, Gunner, what were some things you felt good about, and then also too, what were some of those notes that you made to work on during this off season?
So during this off season, I mean, obviously always keep on working on the strength. I mean, you can always get stronger, but mainly just focus on just like speed and balance stuff. There was a couple times I played tight end this year. There was a couple times where there was balls thrown behind me that I should have been able to kind of like flip my hips and catch. And I kind of struggled. That was one of my weak points this year. So that's the main thing I'm really working on.
Which leads to my next question: how with the fact you did play tight end, Arkansas is recruiting you for offensive tackle or any position on the offensive line, as your versatility will allow you to do that. How do you think being a former tight end is going to help you when you do move inside and play consistently on that offensive line?
Well, I mean, it's gonna be different. I mean, it's gonna be a transition, but I mean, you're still playing football. You know what I mean? I mean, blocking. I think blocking is probably my best ability on the field. So I mean, and I've always been like more of it. I mean, offensive tackles nowadays, they always want offensive tackles to be athletic and move well. And that's probably my biggest strength as far as being a big dude and being able to move. So yeah, I mean, I think the transition from tight end to tackle shouldn't be too hard.
Who are some of those collegiate or NFL linemen or tight ends, or just versatile players that you like to pay attention to, Gunner?
So definitely, I like watching Gronk. I mean, he's a beast. That's really the main player I watch because I've seen Gronk drive, he's blocking drive before, out of the play. I mean, all the way to out of bounds, and then he can catch the ball, and all that is being big as well. So that's the main person that I mainly watch and try to model my game after.
Now, I'm coming to Daleville, Virginia. I'm getting popcorn. I'm getting a Sprite, and I'm coming to Labatort High School for 4 quarters. When that ball's kicked off, what type of football player will I see in number 9, Gunner Givens?
Oh, bust my butt 4 quarters. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna let up on blocks till the whistle's blowing. If I'm driving you into the stands, then that's just what's gonna happen. Just gonna bust my butt for the team. I mean, you're definitely gonna see a leader. You're gonna see me talking to my player, talking to my teammates, and trying to get everybody on the same page. We're struggling a little bit. Yeah, that's about it.
Now we riding around, have a little fun with me, my man. We're in Daleville, Virginia, and I'm in Club Gunner. I'm riding around. What's the first 5 songs on the playlist that you gonna give me, G Square?
My bad. I kind of broke up a little bit. What's that?
First 5 songs on your playlist. We're riding around Daleville, Virginia. What are they?
Oh Lord. Let me think. I mean, it's definitely gonna be mostly probably a little bit of rap. I mean, I'd say probably some, I don't know, some. Yeah, that's hard right there.
It's a hard one, ain't it?
Dang, I really don't know.
Well, we'll skip on to that one. Last question, and I want you to finish this for me. But also, too, if at any point, Gunner, you get those 5, our line is your line, our show is your show. Be sure and call in and give us those 5. But for now, when football is done with, when it's all said and done for Gunner Gibbons of Daleville, Virginia, what will G Squared be doing with his life after football?
As far as after football, I mean, hopefully football is hopefully that's what my job is. Hopefully that's all I got. It's gonna be well. But as far if it don't, I mean, I think in college I'm probably gonna major in like business, try to start my own little business, something like that. And then, but as far as like when I'm older and stuff, I mean, definitely just taking care of family, because that's family, and then just following the Lord. That's the 2 biggest things in my life right now. And football. That's the main things I focus on, just family, the Lord, and football. So yeah, just take care of my family as much as I possibly can, and then that's about it.
I like that, Gunner, my man. Well, hey, like I said, this won't be the last time. Let's continue to, come back at least once or twice a month. You down with that?
Yes, sir.
Well, hey, my man, thanks for taking time out today. You have a blessed one, and good luck on your junior year, Gunner.
Of course. Thank you.
That was 2022 offensive line, big-time major prospect, Gunner Gibbons out of Daleville, Virginia, Laboratory High School there in Virginia. And real quick, I want to go to my vision there. What'd you see?
Just a diverse kid, I think he hit it on the head. His blocking, I think that's really what stood out, and I think he's taking the right mindset to try to get noticed upon the best coaches and best probability and best situation to get into the NFL.
I mean, with the kids we've had on today, and then when you look at Jersey, talk about Jersey and what you saw, like how she's going to bring, what will she bring to Coach Neighbors, being a 6'4" combo guard, Dimitri?
Oh, just diversity and skill at the point guard position. You don't really see a lot of point guards that tall and as fast as she is. So I think she can really. And if you look at Mike Neighbors' teams, they're only getting taller and bigger. So I think she'll be a great addition. You can really tell how they're really going into that pro. And when I say pro style, I mean the personnel. The personnel is definitely getting more WNBA ready. So I just really like what Mike Neighbors is doing over there.
Man, you look at Alana Eaton. It started with Chelsea Dungy, then you get Amber Ramirez, then you get that great class that he was able to sign. After that comes Alexis Toll-Free. Now you sign back-to-back top 15 classes. Coach Neighbors got it going. You get Slocum and Jersey Wolfenbarger all within a week's time. It's a lot of momentum that you can continue to build. Arkansas is going to have 2 McDonald's All-Americans starting in this lineup. I can't remember a time where they've had 2 McDonald's All-Americans on the women's side, which goes to show you just the impact and the uprising of this women's basketball program. I think Arkansas is going to be one of the top 3 going forward in women's basketball in the SEC. But that's going to wrap up today's show. We want to give a shout out and a thank you to all of our guests. First and foremost, I want to thank Bear Alexander, big 2022 defensive tackle out of Dallas, Texas, Skyline High School. I want to thank him for joining us. Also, to Stone Blanton from Jackson, Mississippi, Madison Ridgeland Academy, the 2022 inside linebacker. I want to also give a thank you to him for joining us on the Hill. And lastly, and first, the newest and most important commit, I believe, going forward in that 2021 class, 5-star combo guard out of Northside High School, Jersey Wolfenbarger. I want to give a shout out to that young lady for coming on and just sharing her reasons why she wanted to be a Lady Razorback. And lastly, Gunner Gibbons of Daleville, Georgia, Laboratory High School. I want to give a shout out to that 2022 offensive tackle prospect. And lastly, real quick, our sponsors, as this would not be possible without those guys. Lindsay and Associates with an office location in Fayetteville, an office location also too in Rogers. Locomotion is located just below the Northwest Arkansas Mall in Fayetteville. Corey Beck's Custom Painting, and lastly, KDK's Chicken. It's at 989 South Razorback Road. Get down there and see Keith and Kathy. Get a plate of that love, and like I say, it's on the building. It's not your mama's, but I added this one. Best chicken and waffles in the South. For myself, from my producer, Demetrius Johnson, to you all. Continue to listen. Have a great Tuesday. We'll be back with more Hall Guys, I promise you. Now, make a note, we will not have a show this Friday, as we've had a family emergency or a tragedy or a family loss, so we will not have a show, but we will be back Monday. But just want to make a note early in the week that we will not be on air on Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. OTH will be out. Grieving a little bit, so to speak. But that's going to do it for our show today. We ain't grieving it all today. We'll be back. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. You guys have a blessed one, and let's get it.